On today's video, we are going to be taking items that I have previously thrifted and we're going to be making them over into gorgeous spring decor. We are going to be making over 5 different pieces plus a bonus project. I love this video. I loved making these projects. This is probably my favorite video of all time. So y'all stick around, y'all stay till the end. I think you're going to really enjoy this video. Hello, I'm Emily with J. Bowen & Company. I'm so happy that you're here today. If you've been here before, welcome back. And if this is your first time, welcome. I'm so happy that you chose to spend your time with me here today. Let's go ahead and get started. Project number 1, I'm calling this floral tray. Now, I didn't thrift this tray. I actually found this tray on the sidewalk near my house by the trash can. Someone was just throwing this gorgeous tray away. The first thing that I did was I took out my wet wipes, the Clorox wet wipes, and I just decided to give it a good clean because it was outside and it had been in my garage for a few weeks. So after I gave it a quick clean, I noticed that there was some dark spots or a dark area that I couldn't get clean. So I decided to take it, now this is off camera, and I put it near my sink or in my sink and I sprayed it with some Clorox cleaner, and then I just let it sit there for a little while to get rid of the dark spots. It looked like it might have been some kind of mold or something like that, but for the most part it came clean. There was a sticker on the back from TJ Maxx. It must have been on clearance for $12. This is a pretty large tray. It's in really great shape. The carving is just gorgeous, and it said it's from India. It looks like something that would have been from Mexico. There was some stuff like this. I remember this kind of decor from Mexico, years ago. So I also took out my little sanding paper, and then I just tried to sand away that dark spot right there as well, and then I'm just wiping off the dust. I also sprayed the back with that Clorox bleach cleaner, and I just let it sit there for a while and it sanitized the entire piece. I rinsed off this tray with hot water to take off all of that cleaner that had been on the tray, and then I took out my Howard's Restore Finish product here. If you've never used Howard's products, you should really give them a try. I first used them about 3 or so years ago. This product was sold at the antique store where I sell my products and I have a booth. At the time, another dealer sold these products, Howard's, and I would purchase them occasionally because they are great. It's a great product, Restore Finish. You can use it on your kitchen cabinets, on your furniture. It basically makes it look brand new and absolutely gorgeous. But now when I took over the booth with the Rethunk junk paint, Howard's products was actually in that booth. So now I actually sell this product. It's a very good seller in my booth. I sell quite a bit of it. And now I have it on my website in case you want to purchase this product or any of the other products that I'm featuring in my video today. The color that I used was dark walnut, and I think it did a good job just enhancing the details in the carving. I think the carving is absolutely gorgeous. Whoever did this did a really good job, and it just brings out the details and makes it show up a little bit more without totally changing the look of the tray. I could have painted this tray, but I really love the look of warm wood, and at this time of year, I think wood and greens and neutral colors are really pretty for spring. You can apply this product with a paper towel or a lint-free rag. All you do is rub the product onto your piece and then just rub it off. You can add multiple layers if you want a darker finish. Well, you can't beat free. If you like this project, give me a thumbs up. I think I'm either going to put it in my daughter's room if I don't sell it. The next project will be 2 pieces of artwork. I picked up these pieces at a thrift store. They were marked $3.50. However, they were half off of each one. So I got both of these for $3.50. On the back, there was a tag, the green one right there. They said $25 or $26 a piece, I believe. And these pieces were originally from Kirkland's. They're a pretty heavy piece. I'm not quite sure what material they are, but they were a little bit messed up. They were kind of cool looking, except for they just had, they were just messed up. They were a little bit damaged up there at the top. Some of the top coat was coming off and they just were all scratched up. So I gave them a good clean, and then I took my sandpaper and then I just sanded it down to take off any of the rough spots. And then I just wiped it back, and then I dried it to clean the piece. I did that to the front, and then I cleaned the back as well, taking off those stickers. If you're enjoying these projects so far, I would love for you to consider subscribing to my channel. Just hit that subscribe button and you won't miss out on the next videos. I'm going to have a lot of great videos coming up. I cannot wait. I'm going to have a ton of fresh new spring decor thrift flips coming up. Y'all voted. I asked you what you wanted to see, and that's what you want to see. So that's what I have a lot of coming up. So y'all stay tuned and hit that bell, that notification bell, so you can catch the next releases and you won't miss out. It's still dead of winter here, and it has been really cold today, so I decided that I wanted a cup of coffee. Plus, I have to have a cup of coffee around 5 o'clock just to keep myself awake. Check out this cute little deer mug. I thrifted that, I think, in Hilton Head, South Carolina last year. I think it's so cute. It has a little deer on it. It's one of my favorite coffee mugs. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I took out my Fusion Mineral Paint in the color Coal Black. I am so excited about these next several projects. I have been wanting to do these for a long time, but we had to get through Christmas and winter and all that fun stuff. So what I'm doing is I am giving these pieces a couple coats of the black paint. It's Fusion Mineral Paint. It has a built-in primer, so you don't have to prime your pieces. It has a top coat, so you don't have to add a top coat, and it's self-leveling. That means that the paint will smooth out on its own. So, like I said, this required several different coats. I ended up just painting the sides as well. At first, I thought I was going to leave the sides. They were kind of a gold color, but I decided to go back and just paint it solid black. So what we're going to be doing is we are going to be using the Fronds Botanical transfer set from Iron Orchid Designs on these 2 pieces. We're going to be making a modern organic look. This is what I love. This is the style of my house. In my house, most all the walls are painted white, and then we do have one room that's painted black, and then we have different shades of wood and then natural materials. I love plants and terracotta, and I love white ceramics and all kind of fun things like that. Okay, I let these pieces dry overnight, and now I have pulled out the Fronds Botanical transfer set. This set consists of 4 large pages full of botanical prints, ferns, and all kinds of different plants. I looked through this book to decide what I wanted to put on these pieces. I saw several ones that I liked, different fern prints and other plants that I liked, and decided to cut them all out of this transfer set and then try to arrange them. There is one that's really large. I think it would look good on a piece of furniture or maybe a large piece of art, or also a tray or something like that. I moved to Georgia about 16 years ago, and we live in the North Georgia mountains. Before moving here and my brother moving here, I didn't even know that there were mountains in Georgia, but there are. It's the beginning of the Smoky Mountains, or the gateway to the Smoky Mountains. So basically, we have a lot of mountains, and when I first moved here, we went on a lot of hikes. I took my little boy, my baby, on my back, and we hiked all over the place. And then once he could hike, we hiked too. And we haven't done that as much as I wanted to, but that's one of my goals for this year, is to just get out and explore the gorgeous mountains and the nature and everything like that. And one thing that I noticed here is there are a lot of ferns that grow. They start growing in the spring and in the summer, and they look really weird when they first come out. I don't know if you've seen them before, but they almost look like little aliens. So we used to spend a lot of time in nature. So I think this is why I just absolutely love plants and nature and things like that, and this modern organic look. I call it modern organic because it mixes modern elements with wood and plants and things like that, and it's just absolutely my favorite look. So that is what my house looks like, and that is what I love. So when I was putting these together, I started kind of trying to layer them and rearrange them and just try to make them look good. But I ended up just putting this one piece on the art piece, and I decided that I liked how this one piece looks. It's simple, and I think that looks really great. You just need one transfer set or one transfer on this piece, and I think it turned out looking really good, and I hope you'll like it too. So the first thing that you're going to do if you've never used a transfer is you're just going to take it off of that backing, that white backing. You're going to place it down. It's kind of sticky like a sticker, and then you're just going to rub it with your hands. And then you see that little stick I have, that little acrylic stick. It comes in all of your transfer sets. You're just going to take it and you're going to rub the top plastic part, that plastic piece right there, the film, until the transfer starts transferring onto your piece. If when you pull it up, it hasn't transferred all the way, just put it down and just rub it some more, and it will all come off. It's very simple to do, and it turns out looking beautiful. I carry all kinds of transfer sets on my website if you're interested in purchasing this one, or I have many other ones on my website. It's jbowenandcompany.com. That's www.jbowenandcompany.com. I will have it linked in my description, all of these individual products that I use, and then also the general website. But y'all go over there and check it out. I did a whole section on different items that would be good for spring, different paints and products and stuff like that. I had a lot of fun designing it. Y'all check out my website and let me know what you think of the website. And also, while I'm letting you know this about my website, I want y'all to check out my creative group. It's also in the description. It's well, like I told you before, it's J Bowen and Company. I'm over on Facebook. Y'all join that creative group, because on these videos I share with you what I make, but I love to see what you make as well. But you can join that in the description as well, and I would love to have you there. It's totally free to join, and you can share with us what you're making and give us tips and tricks, and you can also meet some other like-minded people who like to craft. So after you rub it on there, you then have to burnish it into your piece, and that's what you saw me doing earlier. I took that plastic, the opposite side of the plastic, and then I just rubbed it in, and that's just to make sure that your piece is going to adhere, that the transfer is going to adhere to your piece. So you just want to rub it in with that plastic. And now I'm doing the second one. After cutting all that stuff out, I decided I just wanted to keep it simple, and I'm just doing this one piece, this one transfer. And then I have all those other transfers to go on multiple other different pieces. So they're actually really good values of transfer sets, because you can make multiple pieces of art. You can put them on pictures, like a water pitcher, or you can make artwork with them. You can just put them on trays. Really, the possibilities are endless. What do y'all think about this particular transfer set? Do you like it? What do you think? I love how these transfers pop against the black, but they would also look really good against white and other colors as well, just depending on the look that you're going for. These transfers do need to be sealed, so off camera I'm going to put a coat of clear wax on top of them. And now for the final reveal. I just love how these pieces turned out. I love the brass accents and I love how they pop against the black. If you love these projects, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. I'm really trying to grow my channel this year, so please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you don't miss out on the next projects. And if you haven't hit that like yet, go ahead and hit that like button as well. The next project is this recipe holder. I actually purchased it probably 10 plus years ago. It was painted red when I bought it. That's the color I wanted it. You could get it in any color and I chose red. Anyway, I wouldn't choose red now, but here we are. So after I had it red for many years, I then gave it this horrible looking paint job. I think I used some kind of chalk paint, tried to distress it, didn't really know what I was doing. I'd put that C, stamp on there. It just really didn't look that great because I didn't really know what I was doing at the time. So anyway, it had been in my garage. I'm actually going through all of my treasures that I have previously thrifted, and I'm trying to make them over, get them out of my garage, get them either in my house or in my booth for resale. Either way, so that's what I'm doing this winter. I'm sure a lot of people are. Are you trying to declutter your house? It just feels so good to get some things out of your house at this time of year, or make them over, whatever way you want to do it. If you want to declutter or make things over, it just feels really good at this time of year. So anyway, here I am. I'm just wiping it down, cleaning it, and I did use a little sandpaper to just scuff it up. And on the edges, it was kind of heavily distressed, and so I wanted to just smooth it out some. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking out the color Everett. I love this color. It is a gorgeous, kind of like an army green with some gray in it. It's just a really pretty color. It's green without just screaming green. This time of year, it's starting to be spring. I'm sorry, it's not even starting to be spring. But the first part of spring, in my opinion, the colors are more like this. They're not just bright and crazy and floral. So it's just a really nice color that I can take year round. I'm actually going to keep this piece for myself because it's my recipe holder. I just hadn't had it in a while. Or, you can put your phone or tablet or iPad or whatever you have. Do people even have tablets anymore? I don't even know. Anyway, you can put that on your counter, and while you're cooking, you can either have your recipe book or your iPad or phone or whatever, and you can be hands-free while you're cooking. So anyway, I'm going to just give it a couple of coats of paint in Everett, and then we are going to be doing something really fun. We are going to be using the Fronds Stamp set from IOD, and we are going to stamp some fern or plant prints onto the front of this recipe holder. Normally I like things like this just plain. That's just kind of how I am, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to put some, impressions or some stamps of some organic ferns and stuff on this piece. So after I did the bottom and the back, I flipped it over, and now I'm going to give the top 2 coats of paint. Someone on my last video told me that I painted for too long of time, but I like to show you how it really looks. I try to speed this up. Sometimes I do the time lapse where it goes very, very fast, just so you can see what it looks like with 1 coat and then the full coverage on 2 coats. And then sometimes people tell me I go too fast. So, you really can't please everyone, but I try my best. So I hope you're enjoying these projects so far, and I hope I don't paint too fast or too slow. Okay, I'm now pulling out the Fronds stamp set and just showing you the front of it and the back of it. So when you open it, you're going to have the stamp set and then a set of masks. I'll show you how to use those in just a little bit. So you're going to take your set of stamps out of the package, and the first thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to take some light sandpaper, and you're going to just need to gently sand your stamps. You're going to have a set of plastic on a piece of plastic on the top that you're going to pull off, and then you're going to have your stamps on another set of plastic. You need to lightly sand your stamps, and the reason you do that is so that your ink sticks to your stamps better. It will adhere to it a little bit better. So after you just gently sand it, you're then just going to take a wet wipe and then just rub the sanding dust off. I'm sorry, y'all. Sometimes I just get tongue-tied. I'm wondering if I get tongue-tied this often when I just have a regular conversation or when it's just when I'm talking on these videos, but thank y'all for bearing with me. Okay, so then you're just going to wipe it off so you get that dust off because you don't want it on your project. So I love this stamp set. It has all kinds of different stamps and different plant stamps, and I think you're going to really love how this turns out. So you're going to have to pull it off of that plastic. It's a little bit harder than you think it might be. It's not hard, but it just sticks pretty good. It's really, really stuck. So I decided that I wanted to take these off and then just kind of rearrange them and decide how I wanted them on this piece. Usually when you use an odd number, it looks better than an even number. So I knew I wanted to use an odd number of whatever it was that I decided to use. At this point, I'm just trying to arrange these different ferns to look good on this piece. So I'm just playing around until I got it right. I decided that I wanted that larger piece, the thicker piece, the wider piece of fern to be at the forefront of the picture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out my white ink from IOD and I'm going to ink up that stamp and I'm going to stamp it right there on the front. I am an IOD stockist as well as a Fusion Mineral stockist, Fusion Mineral paint, Rethunk junk paint, DIY paint, and Whimsical papers, as well as JRV designs. Okay, so that is the white ink that I'm using, and I'm going to take my brayer and I'm going to just roll it into the white ink and then roll it over the stamp. So when I applied the ink on this stamp, it just looked pretty heavy, and I was afraid that it would be too much on the stamp and then it wouldn't give a good impression because it would be too much ink. So I decided to just stamp it first on the craft paper to take off some of that ink. So now I'm just going to put it down or lay it down onto my piece very carefully, and then I'm just going to press it down. You just want to be very careful when you do this. I also have some thin mounts which also help with this process, but I didn't have it out at this particular time, so I'm just using the stamp individually. Just be careful so it doesn't move, and remember, if it does move and you mess up, you can wipe it off, repaint it, and do it again. It's not the end of the world. So here I am just gently pressing it down, and then I'm going to remove it, and you can see the impression that it makes on the piece. I think it looks really pretty and nice, and I love the white against this dark Everett color. What do you think? I had to let the ink dry, and then I took out this mask from that sheet of mask. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay it on top of your initial stamp so that when you do the next stamps will be in the background and that first stamp will be in the foreground or in the front. Because otherwise, if you stamp, they'll just all be kind of mixed together. And you can do that too. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it just kind of jumbles it up and makes it look a little bit messier. So now what you're going to do is just take your other stamps, you're just going to ink them up, and then you just press them on top of your piece in any arrangement that you choose. So like I said, I wanted to do an odd number, so I'm going to do 5 of these, and I went ahead and just inked them up right now. And you know, you can use different color inks. I could have used a black ink on this. I even played around with a brass color ink, which was pretty too, just to see what it would look like, or gold. That's a fun thing. I don't have those color inks, but you can use your regular paint. So here I am. I'm just going to place it down, and then I'm just going to ink one after the other. Part of it will be inking on top of that mask right there, so you'll just have to clean that up afterwards. So just like I said, gently rub it, press it down so it doesn't move, and then just raise it up and you get a beautiful impression. You see that little area that wasn't quite inked up? You just go back and put a little bit more ink in it. You won't even be able to tell the difference. I think I'm going to go back and try to distress this a little bit so it will just kind of take down some of the brightness of the white. What do you think? Do you think I should distress it back a little bit or sand it just a little bit so that it's not just quite perfect? After this is done, you're then going to have to go back and put a top coat on this. I'm not going to show that on this piece. I'm going to do that off camera just because I just don't think you need to see me putting a top coat. You can either put a wax, or a lot of times I just put a clear matte spray. I really like how this turned out. I think it really improved the looks of this. If you're still watching this video, if you would just give me a little heart in the comments so I know that you're still here with me, that would help me out. The next project is this wine rack. Previously, I had tried to sell it as is in my booth. It never sold, and for some reason I had brought it home and it was in my garage. So I decided that I wanted to add a little something extra to this wine rack. So I decided to paint the bottom portion there with the Everett Fusion Mineral Paint. I gave it a quick coat of paint. It was very fast to paint, and I just had to be a little careful because I didn't want to get it on the part where the glasses hang, and I didn't want to get it any other area. But I went ahead and decided that I wanted to paint that very top edge of the piece of wood that I'm painting now. I hope that you are enjoying these projects. And I would love if you would tell me which one of these is your favorite. Which project is your favorite? I love hearing from you. I love hearing your comments and what you think and your opinions. And I love talking to you in the comments. So leave me a comment. That would definitely make my day. I let this piece dry overnight as well. I let all the pieces dry overnight. The good part about that is you know they're nice and dry. I took out that same stamp set and I used the different leaves. I really love these leaves because they left a great impression, a very clean, crisp impression. But I didn't realize that when I was filming this that I pulled this wine glass rack right off the camera, so the camera view, so you couldn't see all of it, and I hate that I did that, and I apologize, but I did. So I'm just going to speed this up a little bit, and y'all can watch me do this. Y'all already watched it before. I hope you enjoy, and I think this turned out really cool. It really upped the game of this wine glass rack. I think it looks a little bit better, more modern, more in style and on trend. So what do you think? Let me know what you think of this project. So what do you think about this project? Do you think I should go back and just gently sand it a little bit to take away some of the crispness of the stamp, or should I leave it as is? Y'all let me know in the comments. This bamboo table is the next project. It's just a bonus project. I picked it up for $25 at a thrift store. It's a rather large table. I believe I'm going to keep it. I'm thinking about painting it, but I don't know what color, so I need your help. I'm thinking either a black or some shade of green would be nice, something like that. So you see here on the edges, that little stuff that wrapped around was coming off. There was no way I could fix it because it was just not good. And so I decided just to go ahead and just cut it off. Y'all help me decide if I should paint it or just leave it as is. If you haven't checked out my last video, I'm going to put it right there in the comments to check out. It's just some really cool thrift flips. I think you will like it. I made over a really cool table with this horse whimsical paper. Speaking of whimsical, I have a bunch of new whimsical papers on my website. The new ones have just released. But if you haven't checked out that last video, y'all go into my comments. You will see that video pinned right there for you. And thank you so much for watching this video today. I appreciate you being here with me today. And let me know which one of these was your favorite.